Hey guys, Uncommon Ramen here. Today I wanted to take a look at zombies. I'm a huge fan of zombies. If you watched my videos previously, you probably have seen this off in the corner of the screen. I do really like this game. Today I wanted to take a look at Zombies 14 and Zombies 15. These are the most recent. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Zombies Dead Time Stories is the most recent. Zombies 15 and Zombies Dead Time stories came in the collector's box. You can still get them outside the collector's box as just the contents only without the box through the through Twilight Creations website, and that's the same with Zombies 14. You can get this without the box through Twilight Creations website. Trying to find Zombies 14 in the box is incredibly hard. I think I pre-ordered it with my local game shop, and they literally just never received their copies of it. And for a while there, I was on a mad hunt for it. Just recently picked it up. I think it's been about a year. So Zombies 14 is Space Bites. So obviously that is going to be taking place in space. And Zombies 15 is Another One Bites the Dust. And this one takes place in the deserts just outside of Las Vegas in Nevada. So we'll do a quick look here at Zombies 13. I'm sorry, Zombies 14 Space Bites. This version of Zombies, unlike the previous iterations, the space station that you're on is already going to be set up in a circle in the middle of the board. I don't know exactly why they chose to do a pre-set up base for this one. I think they could have gotten away with a really cool, like, unorthodox setup, like just revealing it as you go. But maybe there was a reason behind it. But anyway, the station is set up in a circle, well, a square, obviously, in the center of the table, and there are several docking bays around the space station, and you are getting to the space station via a shuttle because humanity has decided that is the best course for making sure that humanity survives. However, when you get to the space station, you find out that somebody or some individuals could have been infected when they came up there, and of course the virus has followed. And so basically everyone on board is already zombified, and the shuttle will be coming back eventually. But should they find out that the virus is up here in space as well, they are likely to just simply abandon the space station. So you have to be the one survivor to get off that space station. As you're going through, the life support is going to continuously fail, which is denoted by these dice here. And as that life support continues to fail, certain sections of the space station become unenterable, and that basically is Zombies 14 Space Bites. So yeah, there's not really much to say about that. I was a little disappointed because one of the biggest reasons that I got into zombies is because you got to build the board as you went. And while it did have that take that aspect, that wasn't really what got me into it. What got me into it again was the board being built as you go. So having the space station already built for you was kind of a disappointment, because I thought they could have gone a lot of different ways. And it's probably been, I want to say, a good 2 years since this came out. I want to say this is a 2016 release, and I just now got my hands on it, and I'm just, I don't know, a little disappointed. This isn't what I expected from Twilight Creations, and moreover, it's not what I expected from zombies. But anyway, I digress. Let's take a look at Zombies 15. So Zombies 15 is Another One Bites the Dust, and this one takes place in the desert just outside of Las Vegas. And in this one, you've decided to go into the desert because you assume that if it's really difficult for humans to live out there, then it obviously must be incredibly difficult for the zombies to live out there as well. And as you can imagine, you are unfortunately incorrect. Not only is it harder for you to get out there, the visibility is constantly changing, and which affects your ability to move around the area, and it's just all around a bad place. There are a couple of oases here, and of course, because we're in a desert, that does mean that water is a thing. So not only are you battling with the visibility and all that stuff, but you also have to make sure you have water tokens available to you, at least by the second turn, simply so that you can keep your character alive, because you lose 1 heart for every water token you cannot consume, I believe is what it is. And this one is one where both Zombies 14 and Zombies 15 can be played standalone. In Zombies 14, you want to go from the center tile to the entrance of Las Vegas, and that is when you are quote-unquote saved. And again, this one just, for me, seemed really disappointing for a couple of reasons. I liked the idea of the limited visibility. I thought that was a really cool idea, and adding in the water aspect was also really interesting to me. But it just, there was something about it that just didn't feel like a zombies game to me. Usually when you have these cards, you see a full grid, and if you don't, that means that the occupiable spaces are part of the grid, and anything that's not occupiable is going to be anything that doesn't have the grid in it, which means that this whole section of map you can't move into. And if you continue to go through the deck, that means that there are 3 total spaces here in both the canyons. And then, of course, yeah, okay, you have the whole entire map here that's available. But then here you go with another one where the only spaces that you can occupy are these middle spaces. And it just seemed very strange to me. And then this one just didn't make sense to me. This is a 4-way dune, as it mentions right there, with 1 space that seems occupiable, and then can you just go up, down, left, and right? Is that what that is? Like, it just seems like they cut corners that, maybe I'm complaining, I don't know. It just seemed, maybe they chose not to put the grid here because in the original game, when they put the grid here, buildings occupied that section, so it was obvious you couldn't go over there. So that's why they didn't bother putting lines here to to point where you can and cannot go, but it just seems lazy, I suppose. Like here we have another one where it's like, okay, there are buildings occupying this, but they still didn't bother to put lines there. It just seemed really lazy to me. And I really love this game. Or here's another great example. What does that even mean? There's only what does that even mean? They just gave up on the lines completely. So I don't know. I'm a huge fan of zombies, and what is this, a T? It's a T-shaped path, yeah. It didn't feel like zombies. Then you go through the deck too, and one of the things about the original Zombies games, and even, you know, all of the expansions, they generally introduced some kind of weapon, some kind of something, and in here it was like suntan lotion. Like, is that the weapon? Like, that's my jacket? Just where? What's the? Clearly, we don't want to use cactuses or cacti. We got the camel. That makes sense, but I just don't know. The goggles. There you go. That's good equipment, but no anything. No weapons. Just seemed weird. Even in the Zombies 14, we had the phasers, the space modulator, the space suit, thermal detonator, noisy cricket. Like, there's just more in the way of I don't know, weapons. It just didn't seem very zombies-esque. And I say that knowing that they have a carnival expansion, and it just, I don't know. They have a ton of expansions for this game. Several standalones. Zombies 4, Zombies 11, and Zombies 12. All standalones with, I guess, Zombies 14 and 15. And with Zombies 4, Zombies 11, and 12, it was something substantial. It felt like, I don't know, it felt like there was a struggle. They gave you the weapons, they gave you the take that aspect, they gave you the building the map, they gave you what Zombies, the original game, was. And then with Zombies 14, they completely take the map building away from you, but at least they still give you the weapons, and they still give you that idea where you got to get off that space station. So there's some part of that that just feels desperate. And you have the what are they called? The life support systems, you know, constantly degrading. So there's some part of that screams, okay, we're zombies in space, even though it just seems ridiculous that there's zombies in space. But in Zombies 15, while they did give you the ability to build the map again, it just felt like there's corners cut there. There's no weapons. It's just a completely desperate situation where now you're just grasping for water and nothing else matters. And I don't know, maybe that's what they were going for, but it just didn't shine to me like the rest of Zombies did. And I'm not going to say that I've played everything that is Zombies. You know, I've played Zombies 1. I played Zombies 4. I've played with just about all of the expansions. I haven't had a chance to play Zombies 11, 12, or 13 yet. So I'm curious to see, because these are the, you know, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15 are the newest of the group. Does 11, or does you know, 11, 12, and 13 fall short, like, or at least feel like it falls short like these guys do? And, you know, I certainly hope it doesn't. I like I said, I really love Zombies. I'm a huge fan of this. I don't know what else to say. I really wouldn't have picked up, all of these expansions if I wasn't. I know that like it's putting some of the smaller expansions, like the military base or the shopping mall or the carnival, is somewhat difficult to splash into the core sets without some sort of like house rules. But it was a really fun game where it was almost comical. It was about zombies, but it was almost comical. And these two don't feel like that to me. I could be wrong, but that's just my thought over here. You can get both of these contents only, no box, from Twilight Creations webpage. I think for about $12 a piece. So definitely check it out, especially if you're a super fan like me. I didn't want to pick up the collector's edition because I already had all the other expansions. And if you didn't see it at the beginning of the video, yeah. So I have all the other expansions. So this was just a good way of picking up these two. Zombies 14 is notoriously hard to find in a box. And you can pick up other extras too. I picked up the plastic hearts and bullets as well, just kind of as a really great upgrade to the game. And I know that these are going to see more play than these two expansions, unfortunately. Maybe I'm wrong. Leave a comment down below if you think that maybe I have a lack of insight here, but it just seems like they cut corners here that it just makes me upset. As always, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. Brings me one step closer to a URL. And if you have any comments, please leave them below. Maybe I missed something. Maybe you have your own theory or insight. Yeah, and until next time, guys, peace.